If you are a Windows user and if you want to learn Linux, then this is the right video for you. Let us see what are the things that you need to know about Linux. The first thing is a hypervisor. A hypervisor is a software which let you to run multiple OS on it. Okay, for example, I have Windows OS, but I want to learn Linux. What can I do? I can able to buy a new computer and install Linux on it. It is one choice, and there are another choices. You can use the hypervisor. Hypervisor is a software which you can install on the Windows OS. On top of it, you can able to install Linux OS. So that is what I do, and I recommend you to do it because if you are a Windows user and you don't know anything about Linux, and if you replace the Windows OS and install Linux, then if you face any issues, then it is going to be hard for you to get back to it. So that is why I always recommend you to install a hypervisor rather than installing Linux OS directly on your computer. So let us see what are the what are the softwares which is available in the market. The first one is VirtualBox. It was developed by Oracle and it is free. You can download it and install it. And then we have a VMware Workstation. It is also free. You can download. And then third one is a Microsoft Hyper-V. If you have a Windows Pro and Enterprise Edition, then Microsoft Hyper-V is already installed in your computer. You just need to enable it to use it. But I recommend you to use Oracle VirtualBox. The next topic is Linux distributions. See, Windows is not a open source. It is a proprietary, which means no one can take source code and modify it. But Linux is not like that. Linux is open source, which means anyone can able to take the open source code and modify it, and they can build a new OS from it if you just have a knowledge. So that is why Linux has a lot of flavors and distribution out there. Linux has more than 500 plus different distributions. So I'm going to recommend you 4 distribution which you can use for beginners. If you are going to be a Linux administrator and if you want to work with Linux, then the first choice is Red Hat. Even though Linux is free, but Red Hat OS is not free. You have to pay for the OS. It's because they provide you the support. Most of the enterprises companies use the Red Hat Linux because it is stable and they provide support for if there is any issues they will provide it. So even though it is a paid version, you can, if you sign up for a developer version, you can able to download the Red Hat OS and install it for free. So I recommend you to do it. And another OS is Kali Linux. See, if you want to be a hacker or if you want to do a pen testing, then Kali Linux is the right choice because it has all the inbuilt tools available for hacking. And if you don't want to use Kali Linux, then we have an alternative called ParrotOS. It is also good and you can install it and use it. And the next one is Ubuntu. Most of the beginners start with Ubuntu because it is a lightweight and most of the people use it. But if you want to work with the Linux, then I want you to start with the Red Hat. And then if you want to do hacking, then go with Kali Linux. If you want to know how to install VirtualBox and install Red Hat or Kali Linux, then please comment below so that I can able to make a video for you. Let's see what are the distribution out there. DistroWatch is a website where you can able to see all the information about the different distributions. Here you can see almost the major distribution they have listed here. You can search here, and also if you scroll down, here you can see what are the famous distribution over the last 6 months, and you can able to click any of the OS and you can able to find the detailed information about it. Now we will see some basic commands of Linux. I'm using VirtualBox and I'm using Red Hat Enterprise Linux. This is the Red Hat OS. If you are learning Linux, always try to use the terminal, because in a job or wherever you go, most of the time you are going to use the Linux terminal. You are not using any graphical user interface. 90% of the time you are going to use the terminal. Let us see few commands first. Okay, whenever I buy a computer or whenever my friend buys a computer, the first thing which I check is what is the hard disk and CPU and the RAM available in the system. Let us see first how to check the CPU. ls cpu is the command to check the CPU of the computer. Here you can see I am using Intel Core i5 processor, and if you press Ctrl L, it will clear the screen. And the next command we are going to see is how to check the hard disk. ls blk is the command to check the hard disk available. Here you can see I have 15 GB of hard disk. SDA is the naming convention it is used in Linux. You can see SDA or XVDA. These are some naming convention used to mention the hard disk. And I'm going to press Ctrl L again to clear the screen. Now we will see how much amount of RAM it is available. Free -h is the command to see the RAM available in the system. As you can see, I have a 3 GB of RAM around, and 1.3 GB is used and 386 is free. In Windows you call it as folders, and in Linux we call it as directories. I mean, if you see what are the folders are available in any particular location, you can use ls is the command. It will show what are the files and folders available in the particular directory. I mean, as you can see, these are the files and folders which is available. Whenever you want to see where you are, in which location you are there, you can use pwd. It is the command which will show you where you are in the computer. As you can see, I am in the location of home and Kali, and I'm pressing Ctrl L to clear the screen again. Try to repeat the commands as much as possible so you will get to remember that, and it is easy. Okay, let's see how to create a folder. mkdir is the command, and you can give the folder name. I am going to create a folder name as folder. You can use ls command to see the folders and files which is present here. As you can see, the folder has been created. You can use mkdir command to create multiple folders at a time. I'm going to create a folder 1 and folder 2. Again, I'm using ls to see. You can see folder 1, folder 2 folders has been created, or directories has been created. If you want to move from one folder to another folder, you can use the cd command. Cd means change directory. You can specify the folder name. I want to go to the folder 1. As you can see, it has been changed here. Now you can use the pwd command to see the location. As you can see, I am in the folder 1. I want to go back to the folder again, so I can use cd double dot. Now I am going to use the pwd command to see the location. As you can see, I move back to the previous folder. I am using Ctrl L to clear the screen. I am again using ls to see. Now we will see how to move and copy and rename the text. I want to move hello.txt to folder 1. I'm going to use the mv command. mv is the move command. You have to specify the file name first, hello.txt, and the specific place where you want to transfer the file, folder 1. Now I'm going to use ls to see. As you can see here, there is no hello.txt file. I'm going to move to the folder 1 using cd command, cd for folder 1. And again I'm using ls command to see the list of files here. As you can see here, you can see the hello.txt. mv command also used to rename the file. Again, I'm using mv hello.txt. I want to change it as a file.txt. So again, you can use ls to see it. As you can see, it has changed the file from hello.txt to file.txt. Again, I'm using Ctrl L to clear the screen. Again, I want to move back to the previous folder, so I'm using CD double dash, and I'm again using ls. Here you can see I came back to the previous folder. Now we will use touch command to create files. You can use touch to create any type of file, like file.txt or file.css, file.html. You can able to create any type of file using touch, file.py, Python. If I use ls, you can see the files here. Touch is used to create a files. The next command we will use is cat. Cat is used to read the file. For example, cat.file.txt. You can see there is nothing, because in file 1 there is no text. I'm going to create a text in file.txt. I'm using, you can use the nano. Nano is the editor which is available in the operating system. Nano, and give the file name, and you can able to go inside that and type whatever you want. Hello and welcome to the video. I'm typing, and you can press Ctrl O and enter to save the file, and you can press Ctrl X to exit from the file. Now I have edited the file.txt. Now we will see what is it in the file using cat command. Cat file.txt. As you can see, hello, welcome to the video. So we can use cat to read the files. And now we will see the permissions. Okay, in Windows we call it as administrator. In Linux we call it as a super user or root user. Okay, in Windows, whenever you get a permission denied, what you do is you right click and run as administrator. In Linux, what we will do is we use a sudo command to do that. For example, I want to open a file. Vi sudo user command to open a particular file. It consists of all the important information. When I try to run the command, it says the permission has been denied. So what I can do is I can use the sudo command. Sudo gives the administrator privileges to run it. sudo and vi sudo. It will ask you to give the password. You can give the password, and it will take you to the file. So if you want to run, whenever you get permission denied, you can use sudo command to run the particular command. That is the video, guys. If you want to know how to install VirtualBox and install Red Hat or Kali Linux, mention that in the comment so that I can make a video for you. And if you like this video, do comment and subscribe for more videos.